Hey friends, Alan Lee here with the Handyman Journey, and today we are joined by marketing expert Jason Call, and we're going to talk specifically today about how to market your handyman business in 2020. Now, 2020 has been an absolutely crazy year, but we have some hope for handyman, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit later here. But it's been filled with pandemics, riots, felt kind of like a winter season all year long. So we're going to talk about my marketing strategy, what I do, how I market my handyman business, and basically Jason Call is going to be dissecting that and telling you guys why that's important. So maybe Jason, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Jason, owner of HandymanWebDesign.com. I've known Alan now for quite a number of years. I was with him whenever he left his auto mechanic job to start, honestly, handyman services. I've just kind of been there, not only as a friend, but your marketing consultant, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to sit down here and kind of walk through, honestly, Handyman's marketing program, which is pretty much outlined too in his book, the Handyman Marketing Handbook.
Selfless plug.
Yeah, well, I plugged it, so it wasn't so selfless. But it really is like the framework of Honestly's marketing program and what we're going to be talking about. So I'm excited to kind of really dig into the specifics of his marketing program and then talk about, from the marketing perspective, why all those pieces are there, from the website to Yelp to Facebook to Google, how they all work together, why they're important. And like Alan mentioned, there's so much hope for the handyman service industry, because there's all these tools out there that you can use for free, or they're very affordable, or you can invest thousands of dollars into some of these things. There's so much hope no matter where you're at in your handyman business. And so I know we're looking forward to kind of digging into it so that hopefully you can take something away to apply to your own unique situation.
Definitely, yeah, and literally, guys, if you are struggling, know this, that there is hope. We are literally in one of the best industries to be in, especially in a time like this, and we're going to talk specifically about that. I know there's a lot of handymen out there that are struggling. Maybe their marketing isn't quite on point. Maybe clients in their area are just kind of afraid to spend money. We're going to dissect, like I said, specifically what I do to market my handyman business, and we're going to talk about things that you could do both for free and maybe some that cost a little bit of money, but things that will get your handyman business up and running. So the biggest thing to know about marketing is, the biggest thing that most people struggle with is they have no clue where to start. So the biggest thing to do is, if you don't know how to do something, either figure out how to do it, right? Whether that's through watching a YouTube video like you're doing right now, so good job on that one, or find someone who knows how to do it and let them do it for you. So when I first started my business, I called Jason, marketing expert. I'm like, hey man, can you create some marketing stuff for me? Because I have no clue what I'm doing. And sure enough, he created a website for me. He since went on to create HandymanWebDesign.com, makes expertly created websites specifically geared towards handyman and people in the construction industry. And that's really at the root of my marketing, is my website. If you guys want to know what we're talking about, check out HandymanWebDesign.com. But you got to have a website. The second thing is a free thing that you could do, and that is to be posting on social media every single day. This day and age, 2020, it's very, very important to be active on social media on a daily basis, maybe even more than once a day, maybe a few times a day if you can do it. But the more often that you post on social media, the more likely that your business is to be seen. The biggest thing that I've realized about marketing is that it's kind of a numbers game. It's kind of like political elections or things like that, right? So the more often that someone sees your face or your name or your logo in front of them, the more likely they are to hire you or to reach out to you when they need something. So even if you're putting out yard signs and you don't see any results coming from that, I would encourage you to continue doing that, because the more often that people are seeing those out there, the more likely they are to give you a call. So just to highlight a few things that I do, I told you I have the website. I have Instagram and Facebook. You post on Instagram, it automatically posts to Facebook. It's absolutely awesome right there. So that's free. Another thing is I use my #1 ad platform, which in my area is Yelp. If you guys are curious on how to figure out what your #1 ad platform is, we have a bunch of videos on that. We'll link that up here so you guys can take a look at that. But that's kind of another story for another time. But so I got Yelp, Google My Business, Facebook, Instagram, and my website. And that's pretty much it for right now. That's that's really gotten me to a place where I can hire a few employees and create a sustainable business. So it doesn't take a whole lot to do really successful marketing, but the key is that you have to be consistent on it. So Jason, maybe you kind of want to dissect some of those things that we talked about and maybe talk about from a marketing perspective, why they're important, and maybe some other things of people can do in their area, like based on, maybe their different location or things like that.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess to break that down, like Alan, honestly, Handyman Services' main marketing tools is website, it's Yelp, Facebook, connected with Instagram, Google My Business. We are running Google ads and Facebook ads, so that's more of like a paid advertising component part of it. So that's not a whole lot of things, right?
No,
So it underlines how marketing, it doesn't have to be super complicated. There are a million different platforms that your business could be on. I mean, the ideas on marketing are endless. I mean, there really is a million and one things you can do. But there's only so many things that are just going to be the most effective for your business and within an industry. And so for handyman industry, the platforms that honestly Handyman has, the website, Yelp, Google My Business, Facebook, those are the main platforms that is driving all your business. And then of course someone to reply to estimate request, answer the phone, right? That's more operational. So breaking all these things down, why they're important and how they all work together. I guess we'll start with a website. The website is your base platform, as you call it, in the handbook. And why it's the base platform is everything points to the website. So if someone sees Honestly Handyman on Facebook, every single post says get a free estimate at honestlyhandyman.com. If someone finds his Yelp profile, there's links to find his website, where I'm sure a lot of people actually, rather than calling you up from Yelp or message you on Yelp, they actually go to your website and fill out the estimate request form. So you kind of get the idea of like the website is this home on the internet. It's your 24/7, 365 salesman. It underlines the importance of having a professional website that represents your business well, and has very strong call to action. So if you go to honestlyhandyman.com, I mean, you can't not find a place to click to get an estimate, right? A free estimate. That's the call to action. So that's a very important component that is in Alan's website and all of our customer websites. So website's important because everything points to it and it produces leads. It's a salesperson. So I guess you can see why the website is so important. I want to offer like an alternative too, because there's some people out there that maybe they haven't started a business yet, or you have like literally like $0 and no budget, but you want to do this kind of work. So alternative to a professional website, I do recommend everybody that messages me or I talk to and they say they're on a very limited budget, get a Google site. So setting up a Google My Business, which we'll talk about in this video because it's such an important platform.
Yeah, and that's free, right?
It's free. Yeah, so that's another free one, and we'll talk about that. But within a Google My Business dashboard, there's actually a website tab where you can create a website for free, and anyone can do it. You just plug in your information, and so it works as a short-term kind of like patch. So you start a new business, you have no money, get a Google site. It's free. It can sustain you for the first number of months that it would take to kind of generate revenue, so that you can make investments in more professional website and other marketing tools. So you have any other I guess comments or things that you'd like to say about the website?
About the website. Well, like you mentioned, Jason, that it's easy. It doesn't have to be complicated, and that's the thing that I absolutely love about the Handyman web design is you've perfectly neatly packaged everything that is needed for a handyman website in that website. It's absolutely phenomenal, and it's not super complicated to create. It's something that is pretty straightforward. You've created a really easy design to kind of duplicate and have instant results on, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. So that's kind of all I would say about the website portion of it. Is it's just it's very easy, especially from a sense of not knowing what to do, and then you call Jason, and then boom, you know, you got a website and you got clients coming in. Like,
Yeah,
that's absolutely amazing.
There's lots of marketing that has to be done, obviously. To
Right.
like,
Well, on
produce
your
results.
end, but I don't see it.
So I mean, that's like honestly like the greatest. Like my favorite feedback is like launching a site and like having someone just be super satisfied with it, but you know, be able to start to get business. But it's like, man, I'm the real deal. I have this vision of like being online, and here I am with a professional website, which is your home on the internet, super important. But yes, definitely a necessity for any online marketing program for a handyman business is a website. People will research you out before they hire you in today's age. So having a place to talk more about yourself, share your work photos, things like that, super, super important.
All right, so website is one of the most influential things that you need as a handyman for marketing. But there's also stuff that you have to do as a person kind of on your end. Jason does amazing magic kind of behind the scenes. That's stuff you don't necessarily need to worry about, but there's a lot of stuff that we as handymen need to do and can do for very low cost or things like that. And one of the biggest things, like we talked about before, is creating a Google My Business. You can create one of those deals for free. And another great influential thing to do on that is you can make posts on Google My Business for, you know, basically just like Facebook, but it's Google run. And you can post daily pictures or comments about the work that you're doing or how people can find you. And another huge thing is, you know, Facebook and Instagram, which we talked about as well. And we're going to be talking here at the end of this video specifically about free or cheap things that you guys can do if you've tried all these things and kind of nothing's going on, maybe because the economy in your area is, you know, maybe down or out or things like that. We're going to talk about some specific things that you can do and implement. But one of the things that you have to be doing is posting daily on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram and Facebook make it super easy because they link together like we talked about earlier. But making a simple post on there with a picture, if you're in the picture, that is extra bonus points because people always love to see that. And then having a little description of the work that you're doing, and then also a link to your website is very important. That's the key to the marketing funnel strategy. That's detailed in the Handyman Marketing Handbook that we talked about earlier, is everything points to that website. So that's really at the base platform of it. But yeah, so Google My Business, posting on that if you want daily too. Instagram and Facebook and posting on that daily. Those are things that you can do on your end that kind of feed the things that he does. Or goes in and then whatever he does makes that work smoothly. Like, it's absolutely amazing. So, yeah.
Yeah. So Google My Business is if you have nothing else, like you need to have a Google My Business. It's the most important online profile that is out there for any like local home service business. If you look up handyman near me, right under the ads, you're going to see a map section. And that's where your Google My Business would show, depending is the profile optimized? Are you close to the person that's searching? Do you do what they're searching for? So it's super prominent. It's right there in the map section above even the organic website. So even if you have like a website that ranks on the very top, the very first page in your area for handyman services, if you don't have a Google My Business page, then your website's underneath anybody else that has a Google My Business page in that map section. So super important to have one. If you go to handymanwebdesign.com, there's a resources section. I actually wrote this whole Google My Business optimization guide. Definitely check that out. So your Google My Business page, not only just people find you, you get website visits, you get calls from it. It contributes to your overall online visibility as well. So you have a website link within your Google My Business profile, right? So if someone they find your Google My Business, they can click the website button. It goes to honestlyhandyman.com. So Google has connected your website with this Google My Business profile. And so it does help your overall website visibility as well. So an optimized Google My Business with an optimized website is going to increase your overall online visibility as a whole by just having a Google My Business optimized, connected to your website, super important for your online presence. The second thing I would say is why you need a Google My Business page is you can collect customer reviews there. So the number of reviews you have in your area, it actually dictates how likely you will be shown at the top of that map section. So all else equal, you imagine there's a business that has 100 5-star reviews and a business that has 10 5-star reviews. The one that has 100 is going to be on the top. So Google My Business is, for most businesses, it's going to be the best place to have your customer leave a review if you can only pick one place. Just because above the top 10 Yelp list, above the top 10 Home Advisor or Thumbtack or whatever service, right above that is the Google Maps section every single time. So it underlines the importance of just having that Google My Business profile to just even more emphasize, if you haven't gotten the point of how important it is and how badly we want you to create this profile if you don't have one. If I were to choose between having a wicked awesome website and no Google My Business, or no website and a Google My Business with 100 5-star reviews, I would take the Google My Business page with 100 5-star reviews, because so many people can find you through that. So yes, having Google My Business, super important. Alan also touched on the posting functionality within Google My Business. That's a great thing to do. Statistically, it has been shown to actually increase your profile's visibility. So daily posts on Google My Business. More important for posting though, as Alan mentioned, was Instagram and Facebook, with your call to action in there with your website link every single time, just because people will see you. I mean, it takes on average, like there's this general marketing statistic, right? That's like, someone has to see your ads 7 times before they're willing to pick up the phone and call you. So consistently posting to Facebook is a good thing. It also shows that your just relevancy. So if a business is posting daily to social media, especially splashing in some like kind of selfie style photos, which get higher engagement. People love to see the people behind the business, because at the end of the day, people love people. So that's an advantage too that small businesses have, is you can have that personality. So making those posts every single day, or every single day you're on the job, or setting a minimum goal, maybe starting with 2 times a week, it is a great tactic to employ for your handyman business, and it's free. And a great way to connect with customers or future customers, so they can get to know you and trust you before you've even shown up to do any work for them.
Okay, so here I got a question. So say we've tried all of this, right? And our economy in our local city is just, people are afraid to spend money. People are fearful from this pandemic thing, or, whatever's going on in the world. What are some other things that maybe people can do to kind of get their name out there, or to kind of do more, I guess, of this free marketing of what we're talking about? Do you have any ideas of like specific things that handymen can do rather than just like sitting on the couch and waiting for someone to call?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that someone could do other than sit on the couch. So yeah, we could like kind of brainstorm some stuff and just talk through it. One I know that I hear about a lot that Alan, you do, it's really affordable, is yard signs, right?
Right.
And just putting them up with permission by the customer. I know there's all kinds of HOA and city rules, so
yeah, I've had a few of mine thrown away or taken.
So you want to definitely check into like the local, like the rules before you put up yard signs. So yard signs, in the same kind of bucket that I hear from some guys being very successful with, is just door hangers. Related to this as well is just kind of neighborhood print advertising. Right. Having like your information on your truck trailer, a nice wrap. That's a more bigger investment. Yeah. It's very expensive.
But
actually.
If you could get magnets from Vistaprint, that can have the same thing. It's a good starter.
Magnets. Another cool thing I've heard is whenever you are at someone's house and providing them service, have a bunch of, you should have business cards. That's one.
Yeah, have some business cards.
Or some kind of flyer. Yeah. And respectfully just handing them off to neighbors. I've heard that multiple times, and it's just a personal way that's not really obtrusive. It's just like, hey, I'm helping out your neighbor, and I just like to come by and introduce myself. Right. There was another example that someone used of they go by the neighbors and say like, hey, we're going to be doing some work out here. If there's any trash or anything that ever comes over your way, just please let me know. I'd like to keep everything clean, and certainly don't want things to spill over. So it's like this kind of respectful excuse to go and knock on someone's door and get to know them. So that's another free idea.
Definitely. And that kind of makes me think, when I first started my business, my plan, like my day one plan, was basically to go door to door, you know, just knocking on people's doors, giving my business card and saying, hey, is there anything I can help you with today? You know, and I'm sure I was thinking, you know, yeah, most people would probably be like, no, get out of here. You know, we don't want to buy what you're selling.
Yeah.
We already have a religion. We're out of, you know, but some people, you know, maybe elderly people might be like, oh yeah, I got this smoke alarm that's been beeping for 2 days, or I got this faucet that's dripping. So I would say, like, just get out there and do something. I think the biggest thing is maybe even like look at what other handymen in your area are doing, or other contractors, and try and find a hole in something that's not being filled. Like if no one puts out yard signs in your whole community, maybe put out some yard signs. You'd be the one that stands out, you know? I know there was a community up here that there was no yard signs, and I decided to put out a bunch of yard signs, and came back about, you know, 3 weeks later, and there was a bunch of yard signs around my yard sign. Like, people picked up on it, right? That's the thing about human nature, is like we pick up on what other people do, but the true entrepreneurial and the person who's going to continue to be busy throughout the year is they're going to be people who do things before other people do them, you know? So even if it's going door to door and saying, hey, do you have anything I can help you with today? And maybe just do it for free. You know, like maybe it's an elderly person that has a kitchen faucet that's leaking. Be like, oh, hey, you know, today I'm fixing stuff for free. That's what I'm doing, because I don't want to just sit on the couch and eat potato chips. I've already gained like 20 pounds, so I'm gonna give stuff away for free. You know, not saying that you should always give stuff away for free. You should definitely charge for stuff if you're doing it. But if you're struggling for work, you might as well go help someone out, because it's kind of like that thought of like karma, right? What you put out there comes back, you know? So if you go next door and you help out an elderly lady with a smoke detector, she might tell her neighbor. She might have a huge network of realtors or project, you know, like it. So you never know who you're going to be talking to. Yeah. So, and another thing is post on your personal Facebook page. That's another thing, like just let your friends and family know that you have a handyman business, because they might know someone that lives in your area that's looking for a handyman. I would just say don't discount anything.
So that last point of friends and family, whenever I work with someone who's got a brand new business, when we're getting everything set up, they get their Google My Business, I tell them, let your friends and family, your network, your personal network know that you have this business, and they will support you. Like your friends and family, hopefully you have good friends, good family. You'll be able to find out after that.
Yeah, I know.
But they will support you and kind of give your name to their neighbors and whatnot. Related to this, and then what Alan just touched on too, is posting to Facebook groups. It's a free advertising method that I know a lot of people do it very successfully. And there's like rules within groups of posting, you know, once a week or whatnot. But it ties into too, if you're a new business and you don't have any work and you're looking to get your name out there, you don't have any budget to spend on ads or website or anything like that, posting to these groups, neighborhood groups, like, hey, I'm looking to help somebody that has a need. I have a handyman business, and you know, maybe you say for 4 hours a week, you donate your time.
Right. Yeah.
You could do that, and that certainly, there's going to be people that see that and they're like, oh wow, it's really nice, and actually I need a new faucet installed, so I'm going to call this guy.
Right.
So, you know, whether you need something to do or vice versa, there are super busy companies that are out there that donate, and stuff gets picked up on Facebook, stuff gets picked up on news if you're big enough, and so a good deed can go a long way to spark future business and something to do. So yeah, that's a great idea for I guess just a free way to get your name out there.
Definitely. So to recap, so we got the website, we got Google My Business, we got Facebook and Instagram, and then some other kind of cheaper things you could do. You know, yard signs. You could help out your elderly next door neighbor. You could post on your personal Facebook page. You can post on Facebook groups. Am I missing anything that we covered there?
One thing we didn't talk about is joining like a chamber of commerce, networking groups. So as a handyman service, you can actually join your local realtor association as an affiliate member. So a realtor association is just a bunch of realtors that they meet every week typically, and they go see homes and whatnot. If your business relates to real estate, you can join as an affiliate member. So you have like a membership fee, but you can go to these meetings.
Right.
You can sponsor breakfasts. You can meet people who are your ideal clients, and they work with your ideal clients all the time because they work with homeowners. Yeah. So that's another I highly recommend joining a networking group, Chamber of Commerce, Realtor Association, and meet your ideal customers who are there. And then most people that are involved in these local groups as well, they have friends and family locally, and they're all your ideal customers too. So, the business network, working professional networks within your area, not only are they your ideal customers, but they have friends and family that are all your ideal customers as well. So that's another one I recommend.
Definitely. And another thing on that is like, you're not only going to be going there and hopefully be gaining clients from that, but you're also meeting other entrepreneurial minded people that are going to help your business grow from a business perspective, which is awesome. So definitely recommend getting involved in some sort of entrepreneurial group. We have a huge handyman group that's specifically for handyman called the Handyman Journey Mastermind group on Facebook. If you're not a part of that, I would highly recommend you check that out. We got 3,500 people now, and it's just full of people some people that have been in it for 20 years, some people that are toying with the idea of getting into it, some people that just started up. So absolutely great place to get connected with. You can connect with that right now. But yeah, definitely start implementing these ideas. I think we've kind of covered a little bit of everything for marketing your handyman business, would you say?
Yeah. And across all of it is consistency is so important. Consistently posting to Facebook every day, consistently asking your customers to get reviews, consistently referring people to, your website and your voicemail or whatever if you cannot answer the phone. So it takes consistency. I know.
Definitely.
With advertising, your marketing, I know you describe as like planting a seed, and then you're not going to see something for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month.
Right.
But after so many months, so it does take consistency and perseverance, and there's a lot of tools out there that can do the trick.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that makes me think of is when you're talking about marketing or growing a business or anything like that. What we always teach at the Handyman Journey Consulting is the difference between you have two mentalities you could choose from. You can either choose a victim mentality or a champion mentality. And let me tell you, us as humans, we default to the victim mentality. It's so easy to just be a victim of whatever's going on, right? Like this pandemic happened, or these riots happened, or it's winter, it's too cold, it's too hot, right? There's a lot of excuses and a lot of fears that can go on in our minds. But we as people, we have a choice, right? Are we just gonna play that victim card, or are we gonna rise up and be champions? Okay, so like a victim would say that my town is too small, right? And a champion would say, well, maybe my town's too small, but have I thought of the town that's 30 minutes or an hour away from me? A victim mentality would say, the handyman laws in my county, my city, my state are too strict. And a champion mentality would say, well, what are some things that I can do? To not necessarily get around that, but to make it so I am profitable doing the work that's actually legal in my town. So at the end of the day, you have a choice, right? You have a choice to say, I'm posting on Facebook and no one's watching. Or you can say, the posting I'm doing on Facebook is getting me towards that goal of more people seeing my business. Because like he said, statistically, people have to see your business 7 or 8 times before they actually buy from you or call you for an estimate. So even though you don't see direct, immediate results off those Facebook posts, keep going, because like I said, we are in one of the best industries to be in the whole world right now. This is absolutely phenomenal. So keep posting, keep doing the things. Success is not built on one big breakthrough, but it's built on the things that we do every single day. And sometimes those things are very small, sometimes not even seen. We see take Warren Buffett, for example, right? We say, well, he's pretty rich, right? Like, what has he done in his life? He could probably tell you what he's done, what he's invested in. I remember I read a quote the other day. I think Jeff Bezos said, Warren, your investment strategy is so simple. Why don't most people do it? And Warren said, well, people don't want to get rich slow. They want to get rich fast. That's the thing. Warren Buffett did step by step by step by step every single day. Okay? So if you want to be successful, it takes the little things every single day to get there. And this marketing strategy is something that you have to implement every single day and not let that victim mentality overcome your champion mentality. So that's just one thing that was kind of on my heart. But do you got any last words to say for this?
No, I think you hit it. Something that Alan just touched on too is a little more tidbit on the free marketing strategy is look at successful people, look at successful businesses
Mm-hmm.
and what they do, and imitate that to your own situation. So a successful handyman business in your area, or are you struggling with, maybe you aren't waking up early enough to get all this stuff done, all this stuff is piling up. So you look at someone who's successful in, just allotting their time. So, Warren Buffett obviously is an example of, a lot of things, I'm sure.
We could copy a lot from him.
Yeah, but it's such a good tidbit. Marketing is you got to learn from what successful people are doing, because they've spent millions of dollars in mistakes.
Right.
And you can not make those mistakes for way cheaper. You don't have to spend millions to make those mistakes, because these big companies have already done that for you. So
for sure,
looking at successful people and what they're doing is huge.
For sure. Yeah. So that's absolutely amazing. And again, my name's Alan Lee, owner of the Handyman Journey Consulting. We help handymen all around the world take their business to the next level or start up a new business entirely. Jason Call from Handyman Web Design. He does everything that you need, from creating a website to SEOing your business. I know I'm not saying that right, but he works magic doing everything handyman online related. So check him out, handymanwebdesign.com. But appreciate you all tuning into this video. This has been how to market your handyman business in 2020. Like this video, leave us a comment with what your thoughts are on this video, and also what are some things that you've tried in your specific handyman business to market your handyman business? What are some things that you think you need to be implementing more often? Maybe what are some victim mentalities that you've been listening to, and maybe what are some champion mentalities that you're going to choose to listen to from now on? But thank you all so much. Subscribe to this channel. Check out handymanwebdesign.com, and we'll catch you on the next one.